Hello and welcome to our first episode of SBI Presents Times Network Living Room Conclave India Education Mission, leveraging the power of youth education. Now, last year, the Indian government led e-Vidya scheme, which was enacted to bridge the learning lost by digital content and online learning, was recognized and awarded by UNESCO. Today, new technology is helping create new types of classrooms. India is focusing on tools that ensure anywhere access to knowledge. Now, our central government is focused on providing internships and apprenticeships to give outside the classroom exposure to its youth and aims to create a skilled workforce for Industry 4.0. Given the development-oriented changes introduced in the Indian education curriculum, it's crucial to discuss the future of our nation. In today's episode, we will discuss how the power of Indian youth can be leveraged in the education sector in boosting India's economy. To talk to me on this, I'm joined by a panel of experts. Allow me to introduce them. First up, we have Mr. Harshit Mishra. He's the Deputy Advisor Education with Niti Aayog. We have Mr. Anil Sahasrabudhe, Chairman, National Education Technology Forum. And we have Ms. Vrinda Swaroop, former Secretary, Department of School Education and Literacy, Ministry of HRD, Government of India. Ma'am, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here. Mr. Sahasrabudhe, first question to you. Now, the Indian higher education system is reviving itself. Modern education, it focuses more on inculcating skills and increasing employability. The government has taken initiatives like the Atal Innovation Mission. It is setting up Atal Incubation Centers across higher educational institutes and Atal Tinkering Labs also in schools to foster innovative thinking, creativity and scientific temperament among students. So, sir, how good is integration with industries going to prove for the education system?
We all are aware that technologies are rapidly changing. New things are coming in every day. And therefore, our students have to be kept abreast with all the latest developments that are going on. That may be both in the hardware as well as in the software. If they are provided skill sets which are very useful for them, then their whole journey in the higher education becomes very smooth and very innovative. And this innovation begins early childhood. And that is why what you all said is very, very important. But in the higher education sector also, whether it is in AICTE or now the National Education Technology Forum, we are going to have multiple things which will empower innovation, employability, and creation of the entrepreneurial journey of students, creation of startups. I'll take a few examples of that of the Smart India Hackathon, which AICTE started 5 years ago. The problems of the society, problems of the government, problems of the industry, small scale sector, medium scale sector. When given a challenge to students, they come out with out of the box solutions, which may have to be refined further, but they have found their way into the industry. Therefore, industry and the institution connect on one side. The innovation potential of the students on the other side is all tested. We also started a very interesting one, which is called Idea Lab. Going by what is known as MIT's Fab Lab, there was an experiment which was done earlier in College of Engineering, Pune, taking the cue forward. If the institution puts in about 55 lakh rupees, the matching grant of 55 lakh is given by the AICTE. And that's how more than about 150 labs, which are almost high-end tinkering labs. You know, the tinkering labs have a very low cost, 20 lakh rupees budget, whereas this is more than 1 crore of budget with 50% money coming from the industry. So when you say industry institution connect, this is a very strong way of connect. When the industry is paying some money, naturally they are decide that something should come in return. And many innovative products which come out of the students will find their way into the industry.
Mr. Mishra, I'll come to you, sir. So, according to UN population prospects, India has the largest young population in the age group of 18 to 23 years globally. Now, education is the primary requirement of this massive population to propel economic growth. So, sir, how do you see the integration of Industry 4.0 technologies into the education system, thereby providing students with a more up-to-date and relevant education?
NEP has very boldly recommended the induction and integration of these modern days technologies, 21st century skills, future skills to the education system of the country, and not only in the higher education system, but also in the school education and also in the vocational education system of the country. Now the government is in the implementation mode of National Education Policy 2020, and with the induction of the latest technologies, with the induction of the Industry 4.0 revolution related technologies, government is very keen to improve the skill, improve the employability, and to improve the overall employability of the youths of the country. On the one hand, we are not producing enough employable graduates who have enough employability skills. On the other hand, we have a significant unemployability rate in the country. So to address both the things together, I think National Education Policy has recommended, government is implementing all the main recommendation of the National Education Policy, be it academic framework, be it the establishment of National Digital University, and all those things. I think there is a clear vision from the side of the government that integration of technology with the education is a must, and we need to do it.
Absolutely. Most important, very valid point there. Ma'am, I'll come to you, Vrinda ma'am. You know, the importance of innovation is in education, we all know about it. But the issue is, it can be rather an intangible concept, and it can mean different things to different people. But you know, there are very real and tangible benefits of innovation in education. We've seen that over the years. In this environment of high stakes testing, how can teachers introduce innovation and creativity in the classroom, especially for students between the classes of 8 to 12? And what are some of the opportunities and challenges that you could identify to leverage the power of youth education in higher education?
So let me say that, innovation and a mindset which is curious, which is creative, which is innovative, as somebody said, thinks out of the box. These are abilities which you have to nurture in children. In school education, there should be an encouragement of such abilities in children. And when you say that, that means you are actually making a huge statement for a change in the way school curriculum is run. And if you want innovative thinkers who can logically reason, who can apply their knowledge to innovations and change, and even to make the best use of an adult tinkering lab in a school, so you've got to change the way they're taught. So I think the biggest shift will happen in schooling, and which is a new pedagogy. So then you're basically saying, do the basic learning, but right from class 6 upwards, which is the middle school, you have to bring a pedagogy which builds upon what they've done in their primary level, which is built upon their curiosity, build upon the children's ability to learn from experience, to be able to apply knowledge that they are learning. And the biggest knowledge building sector in this segmentation that the policy is talking about is actually 6 to 8. So if you build those capacities there, if the teachers and the taught are in that mode of creative thinking and applicability and applying knowledge, then you will find that the age group that you are pointing me to is that from class 8 upwards, when they're in high school and secondary school, they can do the best of applications of that knowledge which they have acquired and which they will keep building on. So if they've learned some concepts of physics, they're going to have better development of those concepts, much deeper understanding of those concepts in that subject from the class 8 upwards. And that is the challenge. I think both the inspiration as well as the challenge, that are you going to be able to shift pedagogy, teacher preparation, teacher training, orientation, to be able to lead such a pedagogy. And then for children to be having those facilities, which is maybe a lab, which may be an applicative mode, but most of all is that you will assess the child on those capacities rather than just knowledge building. So I think this is a big shift. And if it happens in schools, I'm sure it will impact higher education in a way that we have never thought of before.
Very true, ma'am. Very important point there. I'll just take your point forward to Mr. Mishra. So, ma'am also spoke about how the NEP recommends a 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 structure. Just your thoughts on this, and how do you see this benefiting Indian students across the age group in their preparedness for a competitive future ahead?
Out of this 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, the initial 5 year, which are which is the foundational stage, is very, very important, because through this document, through this recommendation, NEP is first time recommending the provision of ECCE in the Indian school education system, which we call early childhood care and education, from class 3 to class 6. So this 3 year of foundational education, which we also call play school education or the preschool education, is very, very important. So I think the more emphasis on foundational literacy numeracy, more emphasis on foundational level of education, which is first 5 year of education, is very, very important. Then next comes the 3 years of the preparatory stage, then 3 years of the middle stage, and then 4 year of the secondary stage. And if we compare from the previous 10 plus 2 stage to this 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 stage, I am quite sure, and what NEP recommends, that it will change the whole scenario of the school education of the country, and it will definitely provide more and more quality education to the student which belong to the school education sector of the country. And government has already taken a lot of steps by launching Nipun Bharat Abhiyan. The Nipun Bharat Abhiyan of Government of India addresses the need of the foundational stage, the foundational literacy numeracy stage of the school education system. And I think this is very, very important.
On that note, it's time for a very short break here on SBI Presents Times Network Living Room Conclave India Education Mission. But the conversation continues after this break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to this first episode of SBI Presents Times Network Living Room Conclave India Education Mission, where today we're discussing on how we can leverage the power of youth education. So, reportedly with around 2.4 crore students enrolling for courses which yield credits, with over 26 lakh having earned them, the government-run Swayam massive open online courses has outperformed any other e-learning platform by a huge margin. In your opinion, sir, in what manner do you think that these Swayam MOOCs, as they are called, this system is leveraging the power of youth education in India?
Well, as far as the MOOC platforms are concerned, they are there across the globe, be it MIT's edX or Coursera, etc. And you rightly pointed out that Swayam, our indigenously developed platform, is one of the topmost, organizations which has a very large capability. More than 3 crore, in fact, not 2.4, 3 crore students are registered. 26 lakh of them have used it for credit transfer. So, for example, a student in a very remote area, maybe in Jharkhand or Nagaland or Arunachal Pradesh, is doing his engineering education and has limited capability because of the teachers being limited there, the expertise being not there, and he wants to learn courses from best faculty in the country, be it from IIT Bombay or IIT Kharagpur or IIT Madras. It is now possible for getting those courses on your laptop, on your desktop, in your college, and then not only learn from them, but also give an examination, and the credits earned are transferred. And now we are going to have academic bank of credits through which all the records of students right from school, high school, college, university, everything that one learns, whether it is formally in the curriculum structure or without that. Some of them may be doing Microsoft certification. This will all get deposited in the student's depository, academic depository, and one can make use of it for a variety of purposes, be it for furthering his education, for higher education, for getting a degree, or for getting a certification, and also for employability. For a variety of purposes, this is going to be useful. And therefore, these type of courses, which are right now available from few sources through the National Education Technology Forum, we would invite even the startup and edutech companies who have developed, because they have gone through the grill and they know where the shoe pinches. And if a bright student from an IIT, instead of getting a job, he will start a startup and then create an edutech product which is useful for a school level system or maybe middle level or for skilling in a particular domain or for higher education. I think we welcome that, through this platform, and then keep it open for others to make use of it.
Ma'am, today several schools have started career guidance from the school level to prepare students for selecting the right choice for their goal. And reportedly, Indian universities are performing well in the fields of computer science, chemistry, biological sciences, business studies and physics, thereby attracting students. Ma'am, according to you, what has changed in the counselling perspective in order to avoid dropouts from college and choosing the ideal course for their preferred dream job?
So let me say 2-3 points, quick points. One, I think career counseling in schools has a lot to learn and a lot to do and to improve and professionalize themselves. So that is one. The second is that there is a mad rush amongst, I should say there is a lot of parental pressure also for children to take subjects. Children have to choose subjects at class 11 level. So till 10th, they do all subjects, then they have to take a stream. Now, even if the NEP is saying you can have a cross-section of courses that you can take, you don't have to stick to science stream, or this will take a while to change. But the point really is that everybody wants the best choices for their children as they graduate to higher education. So the pressure on science curricula, commerce curricula is much more. Part of the career counseling which has to be useful in a school is to say, what is the bouquet available to you in any of these subject combinations that you take? So that realization is one which needs to be emphasized. And that's why I'm saying they need to professionalize and bring that to the children and the parents, that these are the options available to them in any stream that they take, any combination that they take. The second issue really is about, many students will go in for BTech, but they will not choose a science stream in college. And there are lots of issues to that. And I'm sure my other learned panelists will tell you much more about it. So today in this country, we are facing a dearth of professionally trained teachers who have science backgrounds like physics, chemistry, zoology, and so on. So there is a lot to be done for career counseling. And I think what is happening right now is very, very mediocre level. It needs a lot of push, and I'm talking of school level, because they choose subjects which make their future.
Mr. Mishra, what do you think is the scope of the National Digital University for leveraging the power of youth education in India? Your thoughts, sir?
Actually, NEP, National Education Policy 2020, has recommended to achieve gross enrollment ratio of 50% by the year 2035. As on date, our gross enrollment ratio of higher education is approximately 28%. So from 28%, we need to reach from 50% by the year 2035. If I am converting this whole ratio into the number of enrollment, so now our enrollment in the higher education system is approximately 4.25 crore. So if we want to achieve the gross enrollment ratio of 50%, we need to double our higher education enrollment. It is definitely not possible with the existing brick and mortar system of higher education ecosystem which we have. So to address this problem, to increase the access, to increase the gross enrollment ratio, and to achieve the target of national education policy in a time-bound manner, government needs to create National Digital University, because it provides access to a mass population, to a large number of students, to a large number of population who has been not given access to higher education system. So this is the very objective of National Digital University. So the first objective of establishing National Digital University is to provide access to the crores of students who wants to enroll in the higher education system, but currently we don't have enough seats. Second is related to the reskill and upskilling of the existing strength of employees, student, professional in the existing Indian economic ecosystem. I say so. The one of the objective of establishment of National Digital University is to provide access to approximately 40 million professionals per year in order to achieve their reskilling and upskilling target.
Right.
And the third objective of establishment of National Digital University is to provide a window to the global students who have been attracted towards India, and they want to have education in the country, so they can enroll through National Digital University, and they can be provided some type of education which they want through the National Digital University. So it's a 700 crore approximately scheme of Government of India. It will be implemented in phases, and we will see the complete structure, the complete workable structure of National Digital University in 3-4 years. And after 3-4 years, when the university will be fully workable, fully established, it will be able to cater to the needs of more than 2 crore students per year. So it's a huge project, it's a mega project, and it will certainly help to achieve the access target, the quality target, and the global targets of National Education Policy 2022.
Fantastic. Those are some very heartening and very important numbers there. Mr. Sahasrabudhe, coming to you for the last comment. If you could quickly just share your thoughts on how effective is the hybrid learning model today as the mix between online and offline?
Sumit, this terminology called hybrid model, we call blended learning, has been in vogue for quite some time. But it was the pandemic which really liberated us. Otherwise, we were always thinking that education has to be only in the classroom model. Of course, there are some advantages, especially human-to-human interaction, understanding each other happens in a physical world rather than on a virtual world. And therefore, we have the value of the classroom, the importance of that. Teacher and the students being connected with each other, that's important. And that's where this hybrid model has come in place. So some part of the course can be in an online mode through what we call either Swayam or digital university. The remaining part can be had in the physical space where students come together. They have participation in drama, music, dance, sports. Those things cannot be done in an online mode. And therefore, to create a holistic human being, with all the all-rounded, there are no corners in the human individual. We need to have both of them. And that's what is the hybrid learning, which is the future. And I'm sure that the digital university, which is going to be hub and spoke model, will take care of all of these issues. And Indians will become one of the topmost graduates of the world. That's the vision with which we are starting off.
Thank you, Mr. Sahasrabudhe. Thank you, Mr. Mishra. And thank you, Vrinda ma'am, for your insightful takes on how India can leverage the power of youth in education. While it's true, with changing times, India has innovatively digitized education. It's also true that mere innovation and digitization is not enough to compete with Industry 4.0. More skilling and improved employment opportunities are the need of the hour to make Indian education set a global mark. Well, that's all the time that we have on this episode, but don't forget to tune in for the next episode of SBI Presents Times Network Living Room Conclave India Education Mission. Thank you so much for watching.